everyone? Welcome to Bench. We're the Tovar Brothers. Joey here, joined by my brother Angel. What's up, man?
What's up? Great vibes around here, baby. I'll tell you why later.
Wednesday, November 15th, 2023. And on this day, we have a packed.
It's a packed show.
It's a packed show. We're going to get right into it here. Today's show, we're going into the news. Angels Heavenly Top 10, version 11.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop saying .0 because this doesn't make sense.
Version 11. Yeah.
Version 11.
Yeah.
And then a new segment. Holy crap, we got a new segment.
Oh, boy.
Introducing Wednesday's Working the Wire. Listen, we're going fantasy.
Fantasy, baby. We all talk about it when we're with our boys, by ourselves. Saying it's time we get it in this show.
Absolutely. We're going to talk a little fantasy football. Specifically today, some names on the waiver wire.
The waiver wire.
You need to be picking up. And then a Thursday night football game preview. Oh, yeah, the Ravens are playing the Bengals.
Yes.
Just a little something.
Game of the week on Thursday night. That's great.
Yeah, Week 12 is going to get a great start with those two. Before we get into any of that, if you are joining us here on YouTube for the first time, welcome.
Hey, what's up?
This is Benched. We do a show every Monday, Wednesday, Friday,
yes,
no matter what. And God, has that been tested.
Yes. If you've been with us through from the start of the show, you know we go through rain, Zoom calls, Jamaica. We still do the show. Just might look different sometimes, but hey, we're here.
Yeah, we're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here on YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Please subscribe to the channel to get all those shows and like this video. And we really appreciate it. Welcome back. If you're one of the regulars, welcome back. Hey. Of course, happy Wednesday to you. If you're listening to Apple or Spotify or wherever you get your podcast, thank you so much for listening. And share it with a friend, leave a review, all those good things. And then make sure you follow at Benched Show on Instagram, X, and TikTok to keep up with everything we're putting up there. We're putting up highlights. We're putting up reactions. We're putting up clips from the show. We're putting up all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
So make sure you're paying attention to all those platforms and follow the show between the show, like I like to say. Before we do anything else, we had a game last night.
Oh,
of course, last night. By last night, I mean Monday night. We're recording on Tuesday, and you'll hear this on Wednesday. But on Monday Night Football, I don't know how many NFL podcasts or shows that you watch, but I want to know this show. This show's some freaking psychics. Nostradamuses.
Yeah,
Was Nostradamus a psychic?
I know he's got a cool name. That's all I know about him. Really.
Did you read the stars?
Yeah, but either way, I don't know another show that called this.
Yeah, well, okay, I say this. What's her name?
Kay Adams.
Kay Adams.
Yeah.
This has been a very strong take of hers as well.
Yeah.
More so the Broncos rather than, like, specifically the Broncos being the Bills.
And she took a little victory lap last night, too. So, as well,
she should.
Yeah.
Let me play you a little clip from Monday's show. And then, of course, a Monday Night Football preview as Angels-Broncos look to upset the Buffalo Bills.
Stop doing this. Stop doing this.
I'm gassing up the Broncos, man. Broncos comeback. Broncos Super Bowl. Russell Wilson, baby, leading them. Sean Payton's Broncos making a comeback. Lose by 70 points. You didn't lose by 70. I shouldn't say that. Have 70 points dropped in you and go to the Super Bowl in the same year? Holy crap, Monday night. That was on Monday's show. If I'm not a psychic, I don't know what a psychic is.
Look, I for that clip, for clarity, I didn't want to say anything because I'm a big believer in karma and superstition.
Yes. But you were right on board with me.
Yeah. I from the get-go, from the start of the game, when we got that fumble from the first play for scrimmage.
First play.
I literally thought, holy Santa Claus shit, we can win this thing.
Wow, that's...
It was emotionally draining as a Bronco fan to watch that game.
I want to stop you real quick. That's not a thing.
Huh?
Santa Claus.
Holy Santa Claus shit.
Is that a thing?
That's from Step Brothers, man. Will Ferrell made it a thing.
Right. Okay, never mind. Will Ferrell says.
Yeah.
It was... it was... Honestly, it was exactly what we thought it'd be. Like, sorry, it's pounding the table, but it really was. If the Broncos had a shot, it was going to be because their defense is playing really well, and Josh Allen has been careless with the football, and really the Bills as a whole, careless with the football, and that's exactly what happened. Fumbles, failed handoffs, interceptions, all that happened, and really the Broncos still barely won because I think of some very conservative play calling.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, they won.
Yeah, it was. You could tell Sean Payton said we're going to run the ball and we're going to play good defense to beat the Bills, and that was game plan. They stuck with it through the fourth quarter to when they needed to throw the ball on that last drive. But up until then, the game plan was run the ball. Javonte Williams is completely back. He's a workhorse back now.
I mean, 21 carries. He's all the way back. Yeah.
And that defense, it's a bend don't break, but they are thriving right now because they're getting turnovers. Defenses that can get turnovers, that brings you to a different level on defense.
Yeah,
you could be bad on defense. If you get turnovers, it's different.
They have an elite secondary. They're just really struggling to stop the run, and so that gives them the bend don't break. Offense is going to move. Yeah. James Cook last night over 100 yards rushing. Latavius Murray 7 yards a carry.
I felt bad for James Cook last night.
Yeah, he had some. He had the Fumbarooskies. He had that one that was literally breaking into the open field, dropped the ball. And it just kept in stride with him.
He just
picked it up again.
Euro stepped it and got it back, and
that's
kept
awesome.
Running. Yeah, that was cool.
If I'm James Cook, I'm telling everyone, I've been working on that.
Yeah, like that's my thing.
Could you imagine if you could bounce the ball around a defender, go around a defender and get
that would be the highlight of the NFL of history. Yeah, but he's probably the only Bill who played. Well, the whole Bills team played like that, like up and down. That's just what they are.
Yeah, let's start with Josh Allen here. Josh Allen didn't throw for 200 yards, 177 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. The turnovers have been a problem all year. He now leads the league in interceptions.
Yeah.
He actually had, did he have a fumble? No, he dropped a handoff where he kind of tossed it.
It was on him. That wasn't Cook's fault. It was on Allen.
He kind of tossed it in Cook's lap. Cook did have a straight-up fumble on the first play, like you said. And those turnovers gave the Broncos just enough opportunity to sneak away with this win. The ending was wild.
Wild sequence. It was to praise the Broncos a little bit. It was elite management of 2-minute drill to not elite management. That's what the difference was in the last 2 minutes of the first half and the second half.
Yeah, I mean some crucial mistakes there by the Bills, especially on the last play with the 12 men on the field after you had just won the game.
Yeah. So the sequence was the Broncos had a drive. They were gonna do a play with no timeouts. So their plan was we're gonna roll the field goal team right when the Bills stop us, and they did. They were ready for it. And the Bills side, they rolled out 12 men on there's no excuse for that. That's on you guys. That's execution. That's practice. That's just being mentally sharp during the game.
Yeah,
and that's just describes the Bills.
Bills dropped to 5-5 now, which is just crazy. They looked like one of the best teams in the NFL just a couple of weeks ago. They're now at 5-5. The good news is 5-5 is still good enough for second place in the AFC East because the AFC East isn't great this year. Miami at 6-3, so I guess you still have a shot there. But the AFC is just so stacked that they have to turn around soon. Denver at 4-5 now.
It's there. The playoff thing is there.
Yeah.
Now I just got to get some wins, but I think the Broncos country for coming from what we came from, 70 points to being embarrassed on primetime to the Jets to this is pretty good feeling.
This is 2023 Russell Wilson. And it looks a lot like very early Russell Wilson, where he isn't taking a lot of chances at all. He made one incredible play in the end zone, a touchdown to Cortland Sutton that I think had like a 3% chance of working.
Yeah.
Incredible catch by Cortland Sutton. And really, he dropped everything else the rest of the game, but he made that catch.
It was drag. It was like the lowest percentage next gen stats that they've ever.
I think it was literally 3% that 3% was going to be successful.
It was a fadeaway toss on a corner floater, like pass to Sutton. It was just wild.
This is 2023 Russell Wilson, though, is what I was saying, because this is the opposite of let Russ cook.
Yeah.
He was 24 for 29. Average completion. It was 6 yards only. He had 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 117 QBR rating. He is just the epitome of a game manager, and he's good at it. He's always been good at that.
Yeah.
It was a little frustrating sometimes because you wanted to be a little more aggressive.
Yeah.
I think they almost lost the game because of that.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, they got a little lucky here.
Yeah, they're coaching him to be like conservative.
Yes.
You could totally tell.
Yeah, he's just eating it a lot of times.
Yeah. Sometimes eating it, sometimes scrambling for 2-3 yards and taking the taking the like punt instead of forcing a play.
Yeah.
They did call deep shots down the field. The Bills just did a great job of covering the deep shots and just making him dink and dunk his way. And it was close to winning because, they I think there was about like 6 third downs where it's over 10 yards, like 3rd and 10, 3rd and 15, 3rd and 12, a lot of those.
Right.
But yeah, this is how the Broncos are going to play this year. Like, it's not going to change.
Yeah, they've been pretty good, and I think that puts a cap on like what they can actually accomplish this season. But I mean, in a season where you had 70 dropped on you, and that has dominated the narrative of the 2023 Denver Broncos, they have now beaten the Chiefs and they've beaten the Bills. Like, let's look at the whole picture here. Also, I want to say, and maybe this is controversial, but in all of the we're getting like projections now of who's going to win the year-end awards. I think it's wrong if Damar Hamlin gets the comeback player of the year over Russell Wilson. I mean, Russell Wilson had an all-time bad season last year. They were running him out of the league, myself included. He was absolute crop.
Yeah. Through nine games, he has more touchdowns than he did all year last year. He had 16 last year.
It's a true, and then not to mention the players who came back from major injuries. Damar Hamlin yesterday recorded his first stat of the season. And I get it. He literally came back to life. Like we get the comeback.
Yeah.
But just for the integrity of the award is for players who like come back on the field
and made an impact on the field.
Right. And so, I mean, last night's game, I just watched that and I thought, I mean, this is the guy who was supposed to be out of the league.
I guess you get 3 guys right now who deserve it more than him.
Say it.
Breece Hall.
Yeah.
Is the entire offense
and he looks great.
He looks great.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson and Javonte Williams.
Yeah.
Javonte Williams tore his whole damn knee apart, and he came back.
And I tell you right now, if freaking Aaron Rodgers comes back in the same season of a torn Achilles and leads the Jets to the playoffs or wins a playoff game,
that's when,
and you give it to Damar Hamlin.
That's when like this is a joke. This whole thing is a joke this year. This whole comeback play, because as much as we look, Damar Hamlin, great story, glad he's doing okay. But this award goes to players who perform on the field after a major injury.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So yeah. But either way, man, this freaking win, dude.
Yeah, great win for Angel last night. It was good to see you join your team that way. Yeah. Especially since, I mean, I remember after the 70-point loss, you were moping around for a while. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was tough. Now I could go to a bar and not be embarrassed. Like, hey, we beat some good teams with Chiefs and Bills. So yeah. Let's get into the news. The news is brought to you by 818 Brewing. We're going to get over there soon. Over to 818.
Yeah.
There on DeSoto Ave in Canoga Park. Maybe next Thursday. There's a little game going on. I don't know if you heard of it. Eagles-Chiefs.
Next Thursday is...
Next Monday. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm going to say
next
Monday
Monday
is Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah. Jeez. Next Thursday's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, this year's flying by. Thanksgiving, we're not going to be at 818 Brewing.
Into the news here. The Bills. They lost, and things are looking south. And when that starts to happen, there's a little thing called a scapegoat. Mm-hmm. And you start firing people, and people start paying the price. I'm not sure they fired the right guy. This morning, on Tuesday, they fired offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey and replaced him in the interim, at least, with Joe Brady as they start to pivot now, because this is what happens when good teams, expensive teams, lose football games.
Hey, look, Joe Brady was once one of the top coordinators in the league. So this is not a bad pivot. I just think this is the beginning of the end for this regime. This is just, you can just see it. Like, you'll fire this guy, and the next week you lose again, you'll fire this guy. And
I disagree with you. I think this is a terrible pivot. Let me read you this is why these stats. I think this is via Mina Kimes. So thank you, Mina. Mm-hmm. Bills offense through 10 weeks. First in success rate, third in I don't know what that stat is, so I'm not going to read it. Fourth in QBR, third in yards per play, second in third down conversion, third in red zone conversion. And you fire the OC. I don't get that.
Well, it's the turnovers, which is an offensive
and you fire
stat.
the OC.
It's just you need to change something. I mean, you can.
I just don't agree with that kind of pivot.
I think you can justify. It's not me justifying. I think you can justify. Like, look, we'll be this way with or without this guy because Josh Allen is just that good. I think that's what they're thinking. Like, we'll be this way with any coordinator. We just need to change And this is like, but it's a scapegoat. It's a total scapegoat. I think the head coach is this. They lost last night because of poor coaching. Point blank.
Exactly. Ken Dorsey had nothing to do with 12 men being on the field.
Yeah.
Ken Dorsey had nothing to do with the major penalties, especially that one with Taron Johnson deep down the field on Judy. It wasn't Ken Dorsey.
No.
So to fire Ken Dorsey after this, I think it's just complete bullcrap.
Well, that's why I said, like, this is the beginning of the end for this whole like regime, and it's just like you just see it, like, oh, this is gonna be the end of McDermott, and it's time. It's time.
Ken Dorsey out there, Joe Brady in. Moving on here, Saints wide receiver Michael Thomas. He's been healthy for most of this season, which has been cool to see because he's been out for a while. Him and Marshawn Lattimore, two huge pieces of this Saints team, reportedly suffered fairly significant, that's the quote, injuries on Sunday. Possibly not season-ending, though. This is all according to Dennis Allen.
Yeah, Michael Thomas that last week's been pretty eventful. He threw a brick at his neighbor, I think, and then
Wait a minute.
He threw a brick,
and now he's
hurt. Whoa. I don't know. Either way, he's had a pretty eventful 2 weeks. I think the GM said, "Hey, you're hurt.
Hey, I think your knee's hurt.
Yeah, we need to suspend you without suspending you, so your knee's hurt." Who knows? But
maybe Marshawn made the brick or gave him the brick or was in the car.
Maybe he was one who maybe he is that neighbor. We haven't gotten the
now that's a wild accusation.
Look.
Now you're getting that's too far.
I'm here to speculate wildly.
That's too far. Allegedly.
Yeah.
Moving on here, Panthers have designated cornerback J.C. Horn to return from the IR.
Oh, man.
He was drafted with Surtain, right?
He's over Surtain,
and he had a great rookie year.
Yeah. He's forgotten. But he was drafted over Surtain and Micah Parsons for a reason. This guy's a dog. I'm very much looking forward to seeing him coming back. And he's just as good. He can be just as good as Surtain and all those guys.
Absolutely.
He's been hurt most of his career. So
welcome back, J.C. Horn.
Yeah.
Nice little glimmer of hope there for Panther fans.
Yeah.
Rough season.
Yep.
Leighton Vander Esch, Cowboys linebacker. This is announced by Jerry Jones because owners usually make injury announcements. He's out for the rest of the season with a neck injury, and it looks like it is career-threatening.
Yeah, this sucks. He's one of the guys in the league who wears the classic collar.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, this is tough. We've seen a lot of guys in the last decade go out with neck injuries and never come back.
Right.
I hope he's okay. But this sucks for Cowboy fans and for NFL fans because he's a good guy to root for.
Moving on here, NFL suspending Texans linebacker Denzel Perryman 3 games for repeated violations of the player safety rules. This is exactly what Kareem Jackson got hit with.
This is the Kareem Jackson rule now.
Yep. The Kareem Jackson rule.
You hit guys in the temple, you will get suspended.
NFL's just not doing it anymore. NFL, they are...
These fines and these suspensions are for real.
Yeah. Who got fined? Someone made a hit last night.
Yep.
And it wasn't like a star player, and you literally made the comment, he just lost his entire game check.
It's number 42, the rookie linebacker for the
Dorian Williams.
Yep. Wow. I would not have known the name. Thank you for saying it. He hit Sutton, and he got called. I'm like, that's his game check because he's a rookie.
A third round pick. It's not a huge game check.
So like your game check's gone. You're playing for pride now. These fines are crazy this year. They'll fine anybody.
Vikings linebacker Jordan Hicks. He is in. I'm not even gonna comment on what's going on with him. I just know it's serious or it could be serious.
Yeah,
but he's gonna be out for a while.
Yeah, this sucks because he was playing well.
As a pivot, the Vikings are re-signing Anthony Barr, former first-round pick. And then Jason Pierre-Paul, blast from the past. How's that ass?
Oh, it's 7 fingers.
Yeah. He's signing with the Saints. So, yeah.
A little path for shelf for them. Yeah, why not?
Yeah. And then finally here, Falcons owner Arthur Blank, this is according to Jeff Schultz, won't fire Arthur Smith this year, and he's expected to return last year. Kind of a weird announcement to make mid-season. I feel like there's no reason to make that.
Besides the fact that he probably hears the fans and the fantasy community and regular people who know football know that this guy is a idiot.
What do you do now if he drops 7 games in a row? You already said he's coming back next year. Like, why make this? That. Just shut up.
Don't commit to something that, like, just say, like, we'll talk about that when the time comes. Right now we're trying to win the next game.
Yeah. Owners aren't required to say anything.
Yeah.
So
this is rookie. This is not. It's not even a rookie. This is just a bad mistake by the owner. Don't commit to someone that you're not. The fan base doesn't like him. I tell you that.
The NFL fan base. He's the most hated man by NFL fan bases.
I compared him to the Adam Gase, Josh McDaniels,
Very much so.
Like just to overthink the hell out of everything. Yeah.
That is the news. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to get into our news segment, Working the Wire Wednesday, and then Angels Heavenly Top 10 version 11. Be right back. Okay, welcome back, and we got a new segment because we're going to start talking a little fantasy football because the modern-day NFL fan, I don't know a lot who don't play fantasy football.
You're kind of a weirdo if you don't play and you're a football fan.
A little bit.
Because, like...
Or you're Chris Berman.
Berman does not play fantasy. Yeah, he probably hates fantasy football. Him and Arthur Smith.
Yeah.
They both have they have a group. They have a text thread every week where they just say, "I fucking hate fantasy football."
Yeah. You also made a good point about Sunday Ticket.
Yeah, guys buy it to watch their players play. They don't watch it to watch the Titans and the Bucks. No offense to those two teams, but I want to see Rashad White and Derrick Henry play. I don't want to see, it's like that's why you buy it, to watch your guys.
If, though, you don't have it or you can't afford it, I got some names for you.
Yeah.
You can't watch every game. I got some names that are a little under the radar. These are less than 50% owned in sleeper leagues.
Yeah.
I'm using sleeper apps here.
As does everybody.
Not a sponsor. But yeah, these are less than 50% owned, and guys that if you missed them on your waiver wire that probably are running this morning, or there's for some reason not picked up in your league, go pick them up. Now. Let's get into the first one here. And that is Minnesota running back Ty Chandler.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he is owned in 50% of the leagues. This is as of Tuesday morning. He might be being picked up a little more over the next day or so. But Ty Chandler, if you notice, this last Sunday had 15 carries, 45 yards. Alexander Madison left with concussion.
Yeah.
And there isn't a player this year who has suffered a concussion.
There's one.
Who?
Brock Purdy.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
But that was weird.
Yeah, Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say, there isn't a player who has legally come back from a concussion the next week, besides Brock Purdy, doing that to himself. But most players who get a concussion don't play the next week is the point. Madison exited the game with a concussion, and Ty Chandler had 15 carries, 45 yards. Not incredibly efficient, but this is a team that is moving the ball. There's a lot of momentum. They're going to be in the red zone. And he's going to be the guy.
Also, they're playing the Broncos, who just got gashed by that.
That was my next point. Broncos are dead last against the run.
Yep.
By 20 yards, by a wide margin, 158 yards per game. Ty Chandler here, I think, is a good volume play. Not very long term. I think Madison comes back. Mm-hmm. He's the guy again. But Ty Chandler, if you need a guy this week,
a little bye week flex, week, for sure.
Another couple of running backs here who are a little more long term. You can pick them up now, and you might be able to start them the rest of the league year. Rico Dowdle, running back out of Dallas, only 6% owned. No one has this guy.
No.
Had a nice week 10, and he's been trending up last couple of weeks. Had 14 points last week and averaged 7 yards per carry. And that's only on 12 opportunities. He had 12 carries. Interesting, Pollard only had 15. So this is almost a 50% slip. 50%, not slip. Split.
Yeah.
Split here with Pollard. And it's kind of been the way it's been trending with Pollard. He's kind of being exposed a little bit as a complementary back rather than a main back. And running styles, this is looking a lot like Zeke Pollard.
Yeah. The only thing I would caution is that they were up big against the Giants. But, yeah, definitely someone on your radar because it's clear Pollard can't be the 1A on a team.
Yeah, so you're talking game script. I don't think he'd be ever game scripted out because I think this is how Dallas wants to play.
I tell you what, yeah, if you were to land him for nothing and he ends up being the 1A on a team that can move the ball like Dallas can, that's a league winner right there. Yep, for sure.
Just 28% snap share so far. You would like that to be up near 50 or even above if you can. I think the biggest thing, though, that I've seen about Rico Dowdle this week, as far as like why you should pick him up, is that Jerry Jones came out and said, I love the way this guy runs.
I love the way
he's got runs. I'm proud of him. Like when Jerry Jones starts treating you like a son, you're gonna get work. Go ask Zeke.
Yeah, he's probably sending some girls to his room too. Jerry's a crafty old veteran.
Wow,
as far as
okay, not where I was gonna go, but yeah.
But I'm just saying, Jerry, if he likes you, I'm saying.
Okay. Why? Why?
Came in my head. Look. The mechanism of my mind.
What a terrible reason to say something. Why? In my head.
Go ahead, man. Look, do you want me to BS you or not?
Welcome to 2023. That is 2023 in a nutshell.
Okay,
Keaton Mitchell, Baltimore Ravens running back. He's right at 50%. So he's right on the edge here. And if you're in a league where they haven't picked up Keaton Mitchell, pause us right now. Don't turn us off. Come back and watch the rest of the show. But pause us real quick and go pick up Keaton Mitchell.
Yes.
I have liked this kid from the beginning because to me, this is a cream rises to the top situation. You have Justice Hill. You have Gus Edwards.
Who are just okay.
Just a bunch of old heads. A bunch of guys who are 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Yeah. Reliable.
They have their little
tough,
roles, but I know what you mean.
But no one who looks like Keaton Mitchell.
No.
And that's really been the story all year. He's hadn't got the play time. Now he's getting carries, and he's doing big things with it. Keaton Mitchell, over the last 2 games, 200 scrimmage yards and 2 touchdowns on 14 touches.
Yeah. His last week, he had a big run against the tough Browns defense, bounced it to the left side, outrun everybody.
Yeah, he's making plays in the passing game. He's making plays in the running game.
Yep.
He's getting just a little bit of everything. And that's, honestly, the Ravens, they don't have a guy like this. Zay Jones has kind of hit a little bit of a slump. He's kind of up and down in his rookie season.
OBJ.
OBJ scored 2 touchdowns in 2 weeks, but he's had 1 catch last week.
Yeah.
This is some real juice that they need in the offense.
They need that really bad. Yeah.
And Coach Harbaugh said so himself. He said this week, much larger workload for Keaton Mitchell in Thursday night's game against the Bengals. Look out for Keaton Mitchell. This might be the last time. And even, honestly, this isn't a trade segment, but if you want to go trade for him.
Yeah, I would trade a lot. I'll trade a lot.
I offered, in a keeper league, I offered Rashee Rice, Jameson Williams, and a pick swap. I would even go higher.
Yeah, look, this year for running back is so hard. If you could find a running back like this, who's in a nice second half run, who won't cost you as much as a Saquon Barkley will, who might have similar numbers, that's an easy one.
And now is about the time in the fantasy league where you start to see the league winners emerge.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys who are going to just go off the last half of the season.
For example, last night, Javonte Williams. That's another guy you should be buying. And the guy, second half of the year guy, for sure.
Yeah, you would sneak a freaking Bronco.
Look, man, I don't care, man.
I don't think he had a very good fantasy day, actually.
Yeah, I did. He had 19 points in
Did he?
In PPR, yeah.
Wow, he got those the hard way.
He had 4 catches for a touchdown. And
he did have some receiving
19
work. But Keaton Mitchell, I'd go pick him up right away. Last one here, you didn't have to work a Bronco in because I worked him in myself.
There you go.
And that is Russell Wilson. 44% owned. And this is honestly just disrespectful to Russell Wilson because of last year, probably just the unsexiness that Russell Wilson is. Mm-hmm. He's quarterback 14 on the year. So he's a borderline QB1, and he is unrostered in more than half of leagues. The bye weeks are coming up. Injuries are coming up. There's a lot of crap quarterbacks in the league right now. Russell Wilson, you can do a lot worse.
Yes. The pro to Russell Wilson is that he'll throw for 2 touchdowns at least, and he won't turn the ball over.
Only 4 interceptions on the year.
He'll sprinkle on about 30 to 50 rushing yards, which will take you to another level as far as quarterback fantasy play. So yes.
Yeah. I mean, he's not running really for that many yards, but he's getting carries. He has 8 and 9 carries in the last 2 weeks.
Just sprinkle them on, a little bit of rushing yards there. Yep.
Yeah. I'd go pick him up. He's a nice high floor, filling in for you don't know when Fields is coming back. Different quarterbacks around the league. If you're someone who picked up a Tyson Bagent or
Derek Carr just got hurt. If you've been fighting the Zach Wilson thing, or for 2 quarterback leagues, he should be on every roster. If you're in a 2 quarterback league, for sure.
Yes.
Or a super flex, he should be on your roster.
Yeah. So those are some names for you. Go check your either your waivers that ran yesterday or just the free agent list and see if those guys are available. They could help you down the stretch win your fantasy league. Okay, that is the fantasy segment for today. We're gonna get into now Angels Heavenly Top 10.
Angels Heavenly 10.
All right, boys, version 11. Let's get into it. At number 10, the Seattle Seahawks. This team has become a little hard to read, okay? But when they're on, they can be elite. Geno Smith had a nice bounce-back game, torched that Washington defense, and they land here at number 10. This is the only team that might fall off if they have another loss. At number 9, the Miami Dolphins. Off a bye week, getting Devin A-Chain back and Waddle back to 100%. This team's next 5 games are against teams under 500. So this is their bread and butter. This is where they can really get a nice win streak going and climb up these ranks. Cue my music a little bit. Just a little bit. It's okay. At number 8, the Dallas Cowboys with a blowout win against the lowly Giants. They look back in form. Defense looked great. Offense looked great. I still have some questions about CeeDee Lamb being the only elite option. But besides that, losing Van Der Esch hurts. But they've lost Diggs, and they're still a good defensive team. I think they'll bounce back. But as of right now, they are the number 8 team. At number 7, the Jacksonville Jaguars. The loss is a little worrisome. They got exposed offensively and defensively, but I still believe in this team. This is a confidence play to have them at number 7. I think they'll bounce back and be just fine. At number 6, the Cleveland Browns. It's time this team makes the top 10. It's just time. I was so overly impressed by this team's win over the Baltimore Ravens, and more specifically, Deshaun Watson. He went 14 for 14 in the second half, rallied this team down 14 in Baltimore.
Huge.
Showed that he had a little bit of that magic left.
Yeah.
And the defense, obviously, big pick 6 in the fourth quarter, made Lamar Jackson's life a living hell second half. This team now belongs in the top 10, and as of right now, they are number 6. At number 5, the Detroit Lions. In a wild one against the Chargers, they proved one thing, that they can win in multiple ways. Yeah. David Montgomery and Jamar Gibbs averaged 7.4 yards per carry, and both had touchdowns. While Jared Goff threw for 300-plus yards and had 2 passing touchdowns, meaning that they could score through the air and on the ground. Great teams can do that. Defensively, they've been up and down this year. I think they'll be just fine. But as of right now, they are the number 5 team on my list. At number 4, the Baltimore Ravens. They moved from 4 to 3 because of the loss to the Browns. It's a divisional game. The Browns are really good. I won't punch them too much. They do move back one spot. They have fourth quarter problems, which scares me a little bit. But I think if they get that even partially fixed, this is still a team that can be number 1 easily. Yeah. But yeah, I'm still a believer in this team. They'll bounce back. Tough loss, but they'll be fine. At number 3, the San Francisco 49ers. They played nearly perfect against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And because of that, Purdy looked near elite. I think he's the key to this whole thing. Obviously, quarterback driven league. Yeah. Purdy looked great. Team looked great. And we already saw the impact of Chase Young. So if this team can keep this up, keep this positive vibes going, I think they can rise to the top. But as of right now, they are number 3. At number 2, the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs had the same record as they did last year, 7-2, and last year at this time, and they went out to win a championship. They're kind of the same team. Not a lot has changed. They kind of play what they're good at, but this defense has stepped up this year.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't for the Eagles, they'd be number 1. But still, Andy Reid coming off a bye week. Now he comes off a bye week against his Philadelphia Eagles. Andy Reid has been historically great against off bye weeks, 27 and 4. Huge game against Philly. Speaking of Philly, at number 1, the Philadelphia Eagles. Off a bye week, they get healthier. Hurts was really banged up. The offensive line was really banged up. Now they get a couple guys back. I think Jurgens might come back this week. Hurts was limping. I think he'll get a little bit better. Yeah. But in the game of the week, maybe game of the week, the Ravens and Bengals are pretty good. But still, game of the week, Eagles, Chiefs. If they beat the Chiefs on Monday night, there should be no debate who's the best team in football. And as of right now on my list, they are number 1, the Philadelphia Eagles. And that is Angels Heavenly 10, brought to you by nobody.
Angels Heavenly 10 for week 11. Man, this week's schedule is gonna really impact your list next week. Just some big games with the Eagles and Chiefs being on Monday, and then the Ravens Bengals on Thursday, bookended by some great games there. Let me look at your list here. So obviously, I love the Eagles at 1. Chiefs, as much as I haven't been impressed with them, and I say that like they're starting to get boring how good they are.
Yeah,
they just win, and this is when you start to take these kind of teams for granted. Yeah. But yeah, this defense is very, very good and kind of not talked about enough because it's never will be. No. With Mahomes and then Travis Swift. Like, it's just
Travis Swift.
Yeah, you're not going to get
I hate that with all my heart. Go ahead.
No, but the defense is playing really well. I think they deserve that. Niners are so interesting because it's the most all or nothing I've ever seen a team be. Like, if they're healthy, they're one of the best in the league, maybe the best. If they're missing like one or two pieces, we've seen them just in the cellar. I don't get it, but I guess I don't know. But yeah, they're healthy right now, and they belong up there. I love the Ravens up there. That's a tough one. Ravens Niners, like that's just they're the same team to me.
Yeah,
it's like co-threes. Lions, yeah. What I wanted to bring up though is no Bengals, right? I put the Bengals above the Cowboys, Dolphins, and then who's your 10 team? And the Seahawks.
I was debating on this list Seahawks or Bengals.
Yeah.
But like we say a lot, wins matter.
Yeah.
And these teams on this top 10 have more wins and have been a little bit more impressive than the Bengals have this year. I love the Bengals. I freaking love the Bengals. But it's just a lot of good teams this year.
Yeah, it's hard to penalize the Dolphins coming off a bye week because just nothing happened.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they're getting Devin A. back and Waddle at 100%.
Cowboys had a
mentioned that.
Cowboys blowout.
They blew out the Giants, so it's hard to give them too much credit for that.
But you can't punish them either.
Right, but
yeah.
I'm saying, did they move up? Did they move from 10?
No, they were at number 9, I think, last week.
So they moved up one spot for being the Giants.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm more impressed with the Bengals than them. Like, for sure, 100%.
Bengals loss is more impressive than the Cowboys win.
I think so. Because the Bengals lost to
Texans.
The Texans, yeah. Who just are worlds better than the Giants. I don't know. I think the Bengals just deserve a spot on this list. And then Seahawks, they got blown out, right?
Mm.
Yeah, they got blown out. And I don't know why. Just them and the Jaguars just really disappointed me this week. I just really thought we were going to get more of a fight.
Well, Seahawks won this week. But yeah, and I know what you're saying.
Okay, so they didn't get blown out.
No, they beat Washington in a very good.
Sorry, I'm thinking of the Jags game.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the Jags game.
You are. No, but
Seahawks tough.
Yeah, like I said, they're hard to read because they're a little bit Miami Dolphins-ish, where like bad teams they look really good, and then against good teams they kind of struggle to be who they are.
Is that just the Geno Smith effect?
He's not having the same year he had last year.
Yeah,
I mean he had a good game, like this week, I think 369 yards and no turnovers. The first time in 5 games that he has no turnovers, which should say a lot about how his year's going. But yeah, they're tough to read, and the Bengals are tough to read too. Like,
I think but the Bengals have been like consistently good ever since their turnaround. I'm just okay. This is the thought I had. I thought we're gonna see Thursday night's game. We're gonna see the Bengals play what we think even just a couple weeks ago might be the best team in the league, the Ravens, and they're gonna. I think they're gonna go toe to toe right with them. And I'm gonna have a hard time watching that game and think that's not a top 10 team in the league. I'm gonna have a hard time wrapping, but it's tough because you can't have. Can we put 10 in the 10?
Like I like Jacksonville. I like Dallas's defense. I think Dallas showed a lot of grit during that Philly game, which really impressed me. That's kind of why they're on the they impressed me. Talking about like moral victories, that loss to the Eagles, I saw a lot more toughness than I thought this Cowboys team had. That was a tough game. So. I mean, they fall short on a 4th and goal, right? Against Philly. Yeah. And then Seattle. It's just these from 8 to 11. Really, the Bengals are at 11 here. It's tough because they're all kind of the same realm, but Bengals have the highest ceiling for sure.
Now talking Jags here, okay? They lose to the Niners at full strength, which is okay. There's about
maybe 1 or 2 teams in the NFL
exactly.
who do that. Yeah.
It just worries me a little bit that they got blown out at home.
Yeah.
I would think a team like that just won 5 in a row the score would be much closer. There would be a fight. There would be a comeback. There would be maybe them, it was close early on, but they just got blown out. In every aspect of the game, they got beat. And that is worrisome to me because I start to think, okay, 5 wins is nice. And we were kind of saying, as they're getting these wins, listen, doesn't look great, but they're winning.
Yeah.
So when you get blown out by a good team, it starts to make me think you're not everything we thought you were. Like you're not, I don't know. Jags worry me as well. But I mean, yeah, it's going to start to get tough here. And what also jumped out to me, only 2 NFC teams on this list. 3.
Yeah, I mean,
Seahawks kind of hanging on there. AFC stacked.
AFC's good, and you still have the Steelers. You still have the Texans now.
I was going to bring up the Texans.
Yeah, Texans.
At what point did the Texans make this list?
I was thinking about it. I put the Bengals on before I put the Texans, but still, the Texans just beat the Bengals.
I want to do a little exercise here.
Okay. I want to ask you a question real quick, since we're on Jacksonville.
Okay, so yeah, before we move on,
Okay. What do we think about Trevor Lawrence? Well, is he elite?
No, he's not elite. He's never been elite. We've never seen elite quarterback play for a prolonged period of time from Trevor Lawrence.
So he's just a very good game manager.
I think he's a good game manager. I think he has really good athletic ability.
People are going to hate us for saying that. But if you look at his play,
It's the truth, yeah.
and you look at the stats, you look at what this team is good against and what it's not good, he doesn't have those moments where, give me the damn ball, I'm going to win this thing.
Nope. Even like what we've seen from C.J. Stroud in the last couple of weeks, I've never seen Lawrence do that.
No, we've never seen, yeah, exactly.
I've never seen Lawrence just go crazy. Like I like. There's never been a Sunday where I'm like, hey, Trevor Lawrence is going off.
Yeah.
You know, he's up at 400 yards, 4
I
touchdowns.
have a few like good games, but not like elite games.
Yeah. I think at this point he is what he is. Maybe, and we'll never know if it was because at the start of a season he picked up some bad habits or he wasn't, whatever, because that happens.
Yeah.
And just, you rebound, but you're never what you could have been.
Yeah.
So maybe Urban Meyer took Trevor Lawrence away from us, but this guy was billed as a generational talent, and that's not what he's been in the NFL.
Yeah, it's watching him play, just like you could see it.
Yeah.
How he could, but it's time we start having this conversation about him not being an elite quarterback, just being a very good quarterback.
Yeah, he's just a very good quarterback. I wanted to do a little bit. We're talking Texans here, and talking C.J. Stroud because the main reason Texans would ever touch this list is because C.J. Stroud has moved into a different tier of quarterback.
Yeah.
I want you to tell me where he ranks among quarterbacks on this list. Okay.
Okay.
Well, not really a ranking. Where he would be as far as against this top 10. Like, I'll ask you. Jalen Hurts at number 1. Better or worse? That's not. Would you take him? Yes or
It's like
no?
a would you rather.
Yeah. Would you rather?
Okay, I'll take Hurts.
Okay. Mahomes. Purdy.
I take Stroud over
Absolutely.
Purdy. Yeah.
Lamar Jackson.
I take Lamar still. I think
I would too, but
Yeah.
that is
yeah,
closer than one would think.
Think about it, but I would still take Lamar.
This is a very interesting one too. Jared Goff.
I like Goff a lot. I'm going Goff.
I'd go Stroud.
I think, but that's a toss up. But I like Goff a lot. I think
Sean Watson.
I take him over Watson.
Trevor Lawrence.
I take Stroud.
Dak Prescott.
I'll take Stroud.
Yeah, Dak's on a heater right now.
Yeah,
But
We've
play.
seen,
Tua Tagovailoa.
He's so up and down.
Yeah.
He could be elite 1 week and just throw one touchdown for one pick and just be boring.
And then Geno Smith.
I'll take him over Geno.
So the larger point is here. C.J. Stroud is as good as 8 of the teams on the top 10.
Yeah.
And that's I saw a tweet this week sometime yesterday, the day before. He might be having one of the all-time great rookie seasons. Like he might end up as the best.
The best rookie of all time.
The best rookie quarterback of all time.
Yeah, we've seen Cam Newton come out the gates hot, Herbert come out the gates hot.
Right.
He might be having a better, and for what he's doing with, what's more impressive is the people he's doing it with. Noah Brown, Dalton Schultz, Tank Dell, this patchwork defense, like a bunch of 1-year deals and a bunch of rookies.
Yeah.
He's the whole reason why the Texans are where they're at.
And that's the most impressive part of it is that he's carrying this thing. And their defense is playing better every single week.
Yeah.
And they will with D'Amico Ryans.
Yeah.
But on offense, and that's the reason why they've won the games they've won, he's carrying
This
this.
is when you start to wonder, give this Texans 3 years to cook around this guy. What can they be?
I mean, yeah, they could, sky's the limit.
Like
I don't
say,
care than the AFC.
Yeah, say this is top of my head. Say the Panthers don't extend Brian Burns, they get Burns. Say they sign T. Higgins. Say Stingley just came back last week. Say he becomes the player that he should be. Yeah. Start to build pieces around this guy, and you start to draft well, which they have.
Yeah.
Look, he's just fun. He's just a fun. It's great to have this, and it's fun. It's in the AFC, which is already stacked. Like if he was in the NFC, he'd be the clear third best quarterback in the NFC. Well, him and Goff, but still.
Yeah, they play Arizona this week, so they're most likely going to win again here.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on the Texans to see if they eventually crack your list. That is Angels Heavenly Top 10, version number 11. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to get into we have a couple minutes, but I want to make sure we have enough time to talk about this Thursday night football game because it is a big one.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's going to be freaking awesome, dude.
Be right back. Okay, we are back with a Thursday night football game preview, and we got a big one. Thursday night football game preview is brought to you by me and Angel.
Yeah, it's brought to you by our brotherhood.
Pro bono.
Yeah. There's a little free nugget for you guys. You're welcome.
On Thursday night, the Baltimore Ravens are going to host the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, my God.
And
Get your popcorn ready, folks.
I mean, this kind of football just turns me on, man.
Yeah. Gets me.
Whoop. I'm going to stop you right there. I'm going to stop you right there. I can see that going downhill fast. You know why I'm going to stop you? Because I know what came to my head. And I thought, God, if that came to my head, where the hell is Angel going to go?
Look, man, you don't want to be in this
Baltimore Ravens hosting the Cincinnati Bengals here. 7-3 Baltimore versus 5-4 Cincinnati. A game with huge implications in the AFC North. The over-under set at 43.5. Over-under.
Over. Because I think Burrow kind of breaks that.
I think so, too. The Browns just dropped 30-plus on this team.
Yeah. And the Ravens have been prone to give up fourth quarter leads, and Burrow can get hot in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
they won't have Higgins.
Yeah,
but Chase and Boyd is enough.
Yeah, Chase Boyd and just Burrow, and
even the white guy,
Irwin.
Yeah,
Irwin.
Not sure if that's even a thing. He might be from Texas.
Yeah, but sorry, your name's Irwin, and the guy I think about Steve Irwin. R.I.P. to the GOAT.
Isn't he up here?
Right there, man. We're gonna always honor Irwin on this show.
This game is in Baltimore, which, when you get into these divisional games and with this close of a talent,
those little edges matter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's start with the Ravens here. They are first in the NFL in running the ball. Not surprising with Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And now with the addition of Keaton Mitchell, the steadiness of Justice Hill and Gus Edwards, that the running is just a formidable part of their game plan, which is funny because Greg Roman or not, this is who they are.
Yeah, they want it to be like, let's do passing, but end of the day, you're going to revert back to what you're good at, your old habits, and you're just nothing bad about being elite at something.
Yeah, I was going to say, Lamar Jackson gets very testy about, I'm not a running back and stuff like that, but yeah, that is the reason. If this was just your passing, you're 20th in the league in passing.
Yeah.
You would not be who Lamar Jackson MVP status guy. Yeah. It's a good thing that you're good at running.
It's a good thing to be elite at something. So just let's cool off with his little, I don't know what it is, insecurities about being a running quarterback.
I think because it almost just got him not drafted. Like literally almost not drafted.
Yeah.
Because everyone just thought he was a running back.
Yeah.
But anyways, that is not believe it or not, that is not the strength of this team. The strength of the team is their defense.
Yes.
Even after 30 points or whatever being dropped on them last week, they're still second in points scored against, third against the pass, 11th against the rush, and first in points allowed. This defense is formidable.
Yeah, and also going against this Bengals O-line, that's not very good. They might go to town on this O-line because they have about 5 pass rushers on this team.
Right. No stars,
but they're just they do. We talked about this last night. Teams are getting so smart about pass rushers. Instead of, if you can't afford the big guy, let's get 4 good ones.
Yeah.
And just rotate.
And we've seen it work both ways. You have the Niners and the Browns who just have
their dogs.
Yeah. But then you have other elite defenses, the Jets and this Ravens team, and even I think of the Chiefs have Chris Jones, but even the Chiefs kind of play away a little bit.
Yeah.
Chris Jones is a D tackle.
The Bills last night they rotate 4 guys. Yeah,
we've seen that both things work here, and the Ravens are a team that comes at you in waves as far as pass rush.
Exactly.
Keeping guys fresh. But they have a lot of talent on that back end. I want to highlight Roquan Smith, who is playing out of his mind. They, of course, gave him the big contract, made the big trade, did a lot to get him on this team.
He's every part of what a Ravens linebacker should be.
He's been huge. Patrick Queen, solid as usual. The emergence of Kyle Hamilton, I think, has pushed this team to another level.
Impressive pick last week. A little, he was blitzing off the left side. Yeah, he's really coming into his own second year here.
I'm just filling up the box scores. 53 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 2 interceptions. He's just doing everything on this team.
He's versatile. Yeah.
Did I see somewhere? I'm not seeing it here, and I should. Marlon Humphrey, he got hurt.
Yeah.
But it's not a torn Achilles. But he's going to miss this game.
Yeah, he's hurt. He's been in and out all year. So, I mean, they managed to be good without him.
Yeah.
I mean, all year obviously better with him on that field. But, yeah, he's going to be,
Let's look at here at the Cincinnati Bengals. They, of course, are
coming off
a loss.
Yeah.
But it seems like more of a hiccup on the way to but this team's still legit.
It kind of seemed like you ran to the wrong team at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow has really turned this thing around. He's up already over 2,000 passing yards, 14 touchdowns, just 6 interceptions. Very impressive.
Yeah, I don't think we're, even with a loss last week, I don't think we're putting any kind of blame on Burrow. Burrow's who he should be.
Yeah, got beat. They got beat last week.
It's not his fault that they couldn't stop a rookie quarterback in the fourth quarter drive.
It's not just a rookie quarterback, James. That's CJ.
No, I'm saying if you look at it, it's
I
not.
understand. Yeah, you're right. Jamar Chase has been playing very well lately.
Mm-hmm.
Played hurt last week, so had a season low in a lot of the categories.
But he should be fine. He had a deep touchdown last week, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's those guys that he could have one bad game the next week and have 200 yards receiving. He's explosive athlete.
Higgins is going to miss this game, like we said, and that's a big deal because Higgins is a true number one type guy. But Tyler Boyd stepped in admirably last week. Trenton Irwin, I believe, is the guy. He caught a touchdown.
Irwin. Yeah.
Irwin.
Yeah.
Steve's brother. He caught a touchdown last week.
Brother.
Trenton seems like an Australian name, actually.
Trenton. Oh, that's British.
It's hard to not do
British
not
accent
try to,
with
to
an
not,
Australian accent.
Yeah, to try to do an Australian and not do a British.
You know who hates that we just said that? Every Brit and every Australian. They're like, it's completely different.
Well, I don't know if we have. Well, it is different. I'm saying when Americans are trying to mock an Australian accent, most likely they're going to do a British accent.
Turn into a British accent. Yeah.
Glad we cover that.
Yeah.
Whatever. In case you're wondering. Joe Mixon, though, has been steady Eddie back here. He's just kind of steady. He's James Conner.
He's just a good back who can do a lot. He's good in pass pro, good at the goal line, good at the back. Yeah, he just do a lot.
I do think they're missing P. Ryan, though.
Yeah, they need that second gear. P. Ryan showed last night he has value.
Yeah.
With the Bronco game, but they needed. I'm sure they'll draft somebody, but yeah, they're missing P. Ryan a little bit for sure.
Just for a little help. Even with missing Higgins, though, with these guys that we just mentioned, I think Burrow is going to move the ball somewhat on this defense. He's the kind of guy that you don't shut him down for the most part. You just try to slow him down, and you try to maybe turn the ball over at some point. Yeah. Let's talk about this defense, though, because I'm not sure where I am with them. Because usually they're the kind of defense where I'm like, don't know a lot of guys in that team, but I know they have a good, disciplined defense.
Yeah.
But this defense has been up and down.
Yeah, they're a little iffy this year. Not iffy. They've been up and they've been down. I think this kind of defense, where in the playoffs they'll start to play hot. That's what they've been doing the last couple years. Tell you one guy who I was this is a little backstory. When they put him over Von Miller in 2020 top 100, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah,
he's very good.
He's very good. You were offended about that. I was offended back in the day,
and then I saw him play. I said, "Oh, he's an actual dog."
Yeah,
but yeah, he's kind of headlines their unit, but they're up and down this year though.
Trey Hendrickson, 8 tackles for loss, 8.5 sacks.
Yeah, he's
very good.
He's very good. Yeah, but his defense needs to step up, especially against Baltimore. They need to make them one dimension, make Lamar beat you with his arm. I know Lamar probably hates that we said that, but that's how you beat this Ravens team. Just shut down the run, make Odell and Zay Flowers beat you. So,
yeah. And it's funny too because we could mention I'm looking at the Bengals season team numbers. 16th in passing yards, dead last rushing. Wouldn't have guessed that.
They're more opportunistic rushing when they need to.
Defensively, kind of just middle to back of the middle in the pack as far as in most stat categories.
Yeah.
But all the stats in the world, what we've seen this year, all the stats in the world, yes, it gives you good context going into the game, and we can say it, we can read it. But we've seen in these divisional games, you can throw a lot of that stuff out.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
Like the Browns beating the Ravens was divisional. Cowboys and Eagle game, that's divisional. Yeah, you could kind of feel they know each other very well. So these stats kind of go out. Yeah, they kind of go out the window because when you know each other so well, you know how fast Lamar Jackson is now. You know how good Joe Burrow is now. Nothing surprises you really.
Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of statistical anomalies. The Browns scoring 30 points on the. I don't know if that will happen again against the Ravens.
Yeah.
But those kind of things are gonna happen when it's divisional games because they know little edges. The scouting report is so deep and so detailed at this point.
Yeah.
And there hasn't been a lot of coaching moves, as far as on these teams.
And
same coaches.
Ronnie Stanley got hurt last week too. So that might help the Bengals defense. Just back to that Bengals
Important
defense.
point, yeah.
So, but this game, though, are we getting to picks?
Yep, we're gonna pick
Who are you picking?
You pick first.
All right.
Baltimore's at home. Baltimore's favored by 3.5.
What's crazy is that one of these teams will lose 2 straight on Thursday night.
Yeah.
I just don't see Burrow losing 2 straight. I'm going to go Bengals.
Yeah, I'm going Bengals too. I think this game is more important to the Bengals.
Yeah, I think this is their season.
Yeah.
If they go 500 again this late in the season, it's tough.
Yeah.
Because the AFC, like we said, stacked. A lot of 6-3 teams going into week 11. Obviously, that could change, but this is a stacked AFC, and going 5-5 this late in the season, where if you go 5-5, you need to almost win out to make the playoffs. Now, you need to become one of those top teams, and I just don't see Burrow losing back-to-back very important games. But talk about a tough back-to-back for them. The Texans, who are hot, and then now the Ravens. If anyone's gonna do it, it's gonna be Burrow.
Yeah, I think the Bengals just can't afford to lose this game, and they know it. They can't go to 5-5. That ties them with the Bills, Colts, and Raiders. They cannot fall into that category, and they've just worked way too hard to get to this.
Yeah,
this part, and they're coming off a much more embarrassing loss to the Texans.
Losing the Browns is like they're a good team.
Yeah,
losing Texas, like this is an upstart still.
Yeah, that has to sting.
Yeah.
Like they're going to come to this game, I think, just guns blazing.
They need to.
And I think they win even without Higgins, even in Baltimore.
Yeah.
God, I can't wait. Thursday night football.
Yeah, last week's was tough. Panthers Bears, that was tough. Tough watch. But this is our reward now.
Yeah.
We got the 2 top teams should be top teams in the AFC, Ravens and Bengals. God, some good football, man.
That is the Thursday night football recap. You got anything else?
No, I just we didn't do famous 53s. We haven't done famous numbers in a while.
This
This is show 53.
This is show 53. What do you got?
Navarro Bowman. I want to shout out Navarro Bowman.
Yeah.
Do you remember how freaking good Navarro Bowman was?
Him and Patrick Willis, right?
Oh my god, dude.
Incredible.
And then the Pouncey brothers, both 53.
Were they both 53?
At one, yeah. Pouncey changed his number. Marquise, the Dolphins, had changed his number twice.
Okay.
But yeah, 53 for most of his career, and then
those Pouncey boys, man.
Yeah, they're part of that Florida team. That Tebow, Percy Harvin, Aaron Hernandez. That team that's how this team function. But but all that to say, these teams, and also another pair of brothers who were very good. We're ever seen a great decade of brothers being in the NFL and both being good.
Yes.
We got the Watts, we got the Bosas, we got the Kelseys, we have the Pounceys. There's a lot of this is cool to see.
I love the Kelseys are up there.
And the Diggs, like Trayvon Diggs. There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of these brother duos. So just
I mean, speaking of Trayvon Diggs, do you happen to follow him on Twitter?
Not a chance. I'm not following Trayvon Diggs on Twitter.
If you did follow him,
okay,
he's been talking some heat.
I saw this on Instagram.
Yeah. So if you don't know the context I'm talking about, after the Bills lost, or during the Bills loss, I think,
he
tweeted, get 14 off this team. He said, man, get 14 off this team.
Referring to his older brother,
Stephon Diggs. And then, I don't know if you saw the second tweet. I think responding to someone's tweet. He said, remember, he didn't, I'm going to paraphrase this, but basically, Josh Allen wasn't good until my brother got there.
Which is hard to argue against.
It's just not. It's just true. That's it's a true statement.
Yeah.
But it's a hell of a thing to say in mid-season.
And these guys are
with
close.
your brother. Yeah, with your brother on the other team.
What I like about this is that they've talked about this privately. They're brothers. They're very close. They've proven to be very close.
I mean, Josh Allen's thinking that. Like, oh.
And Diggs had some beef with Allen last season.
And in the offseason, we had the whole thing where we thought Diggs was going to be gone. Diggs might be a fallout, collateral damage from this season going downhill.
Which is why we always say these championship windows are not as big as you think.
Nope.
The Bills, what if they lose Diggs and lose head coach and they don't find a new head coach and they don't find a number one wideout? This is why you take advantage when you can with the teams that you have.
Yeah.
This is why it's such a shame that if they move on from McDermott, this whole era is done. Maybe that was the best that they could ever be. I don't know.
That is like worst case scenario, but this isn't the same season where we saw the Bengals come back from a much worse place.
Yeah.
Bills had a rough couple weeks here. They could definitely turn it around. They have the talent on that team.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you're right. Like, these things open and shut fast.
Yeah. So
appreciate the Chiefs. Appreciate the teams that could do it for a prolonged amount of time.
Philly. Appreciate the Baltimore Ravens who were on this 10-year.
I don't want to say Philly, but yeah. Philly.
Yeah. Ravens who've been on this 10-year hardball thing. The Tomlin Steelers. Like, this era of this won't be around for a long time. Yeah. Like, these guys are going to age out, so just be a little thankful. Just be a little thankful, okay? Just be as a Bronco fan. Be a little thankful that your team that are good, not fighting for 500 every year.
I'm checking Twitter here to see if anything else that pops up before we close the show. The one thing that did pop up here is Nick Chubb had his second surgery and then announced that he will be coming back next season.
I love Nick Chubb.
Good for Nick Chubb.
He's one of the most likable players in the NFL because he's just a dog.
He's the man. That's the show for today. Hope you had a good time. That was a packed show. That was a lot. I feel tired now.
Yeah, it was pretty fun, pretty exhausting, but pretty fun. Love the NFL.
I need a nap and a sandwich.
Yep, and a beer maybe.
Maybe tonight. That's Wednesday's show. We will see you Friday.
Peace.
Later.